Welcome back to Carrick United Analysis. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. This is the place where Manchester United fans come to get honest, clear, and exciting breakdowns of everything happening at Old Trafford. No noise, no wild guessing, just real information explained simply so every single fan understands exactly what is going on with our club. If that sounds like your kind of channel, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and let us get straight into today's story, because this one is a genuinely exciting comeback tale. Manchester United fans, have you ever watched a player return from a difficult period with something to prove and immediately sense something different in the way he carries himself? Because that is exactly the story unfolding right now with Marcus Rashford. After a long spell away on loan, months of transfer speculation, and plenty of uncertainty about his future, Rashford has officially reported back to the Carrington training complex to begin preseason under Michael Carrick. And from everything coming out of the training ground so far, he looks like a man determined to fight for his place. Let us break down exactly what has been happening and why this story matters so much heading into the new season. The road that led Rashford back to Carrington. Let us start with some proper context, because understanding the journey that brought Rashford back to Old Trafford makes this story even more interesting. Rashford spent last season on loan at Barcelona, where he played a real part in helping the Spanish Giants win the La Liga title. By all accounts, he enjoyed his time in Catalonia and made it clear he wanted to stay there permanently. However, Barcelona ultimately chose not to trigger their buy option for him, instead bringing in other attacking reinforcements to fill their wide forward positions. With that door closing, and with United's hierarchy ruling out the idea of sending him out on yet another temporary loan spell, all parties reached a point of genuine openness about giving him a proper chance to reintegrate at Old Trafford. This is an important detail to understand, because it tells us this is not simply a case of a player being forced back to a club that does not want him. Reports suggest there is a real willingness on all sides, from Rashford himself, from Michael Carrick, and from the club's hierarchy, to give this fresh start a genuine chance to work. Think about the mentality required to walk back into a building after a difficult ending to your previous chapter there, knowing that plenty of scrutiny and skepticism will follow you. That takes real character, and from the reports coming out of Carrington so far, Rashford appears to be meeting that challenge head-on, turning speculation into motivation. There has been no shortage of transfer speculation surrounding Rashford throughout this transfer window, with his name being linked to various clubs across Europe. Yet through all of that noise, he has consistently made clear that he is fully committed to reporting for preseason and putting in the work needed to fight for his place under Carrick. This kind of situation can genuinely go one of two ways for a player. Some players allow ongoing uncertainty about their future to affect their focus and effort on the training pitch. Others use that same uncertainty as fuel, channeling it into a determination to prove doubters wrong and remind everyone exactly what they are capable of. Based on everything reported so far about his early training performances, Rashford appears to be firmly in the second camp. Doesn't it say something powerful about a player's character when he responds to uncertainty and speculation with his best work, rather than letting it become a distraction? The physical numbers turning heads at Carrington. Let us talk about the specific details that have reportedly caught the attention of Carrick and his coaching staff, because the early signs from a physical perspective have been genuinely impressive. After going through an intensive individual training camp during his time away, Rashford has reportedly topped the squad's initial bleep test results and high-intensity sprint tracking data at Carrington. Think about what that actually means. Bleep tests measure a player's overall cardiovascular fitness and stamina, essentially testing how well-conditioned a player is for the demands of match play. Topping that test ahead of every other player in the entire first-team squad shows a genuinely serious commitment to his own physical conditioning during his time away from Old Trafford. High-intensity sprint data tells a similar story from a different angle, measuring explosive pace and the ability to repeat sprints at a high level throughout a match. For a player whose game has always relied heavily on searing pace and direct running in behind defenses, this kind of data is a hugely positive sign that his physical tools remain sharp and ready for the demands of Premier League football. This is exactly the kind of foundation a player needs if he wants to force his way into a manager's plans. Coaches notice discipline and physical preparation, and arriving back at preseason already ahead of the pack in these specific metrics sends a clear message about genuine intent. Relentless effort in defensive work. Beyond the raw physical numbers, coaches have reportedly highlighted Rashford's work rate during pressing drills, specifically praising his willingness to track back and help lead the team's first line of defensive pressure. This detail matters enormously in the context of how Carrick wants this team to play. Modern football at the top level demands genuine two-way effort from attacking players, not simply waiting in advanced positions for the ball to arrive. A forward who presses aggressively from the front helps the entire team win possession back higher up the pitch, creating quicker transition opportunities and reducing the defensive workload further back. Seeing a player with Rashford's individual talent fully commit to this kind of defensive effort during preseason training sends a strong signal to the rest of the squad about the standards being set. It also directly answers any lingering questions about his overall commitment and attitude following the uncertainty of the past year, staying behind for extra work. Here is a detail that genuinely stands out among everything reported about Rashford's early preseason: his willingness to put in extra work beyond the standard training sessions. Reports suggest Rashford has been staying behind after normal training blocks to work specifically on sharp, one-touch finishing alongside the first-team coaching staff. This kind of additional voluntary effort tells you a great deal about a player's mindset. It is one thing to complete the standard training program required of every player. It is another thing entirely to seek out extra individual coaching sessions focused on refining a specific technical skill. One-touch finishing in particular is such a valuable weapon for any forward player. The ability to convert half chances quickly and efficiently without needing extra time or space to control the ball first. Refining this specific skill through dedicated extra practice suggests Rashford is being extremely deliberate and focused about exactly which areas of his game he wants to sharpen ahead of the new season. Does this kind of dedication to extra individual work change how you feel about Rashford's chances of re-establishing himself as a key figure in this United squad? Building bridges with the new arrivals. Beyond his individual output, Rashford has reportedly taken on a genuinely prominent leadership role on the training pitch, particularly when it comes to building relationships and chemistry with the newer and younger members of the squad. He has apparently been heavily involved in tactical passing drills alongside summer arrival Andre Santos, helping the young midfielder settle in and adapt quickly to the team's quick transition style of play. Think about how valuable this kind of mentorship is for a new signing still finding his feet in a new country and a new football culture. Having an experienced homegrown player take the time to help integrate him into the team's specific tactical patterns can make an enormous difference in how quickly a new arrival settles in and starts performing at his best. This detail also tells us something important about Rashford's own mindset heading into this preseason. Rather than focusing purely on his own individual battle to reclaim a regular starting spot, he appears to be genuinely invested in helping build the collective strength and understanding of the entire squad. Guiding the academy graduates, Rashford's leadership has reportedly extended to the club's youngest talents too. During small-sided training games, he was said to be vocal in guiding academy graduates like Shea Lacey and Harry Amass, offering constant encouragement and positional advice throughout these sessions. For young players still finding their way in and around the first-team environment, having an experienced first-team player and a fellow academy graduate himself take the time to offer guidance and support can be an enormously valuable experience. Rashford knows better than almost anyone else in this current squad exactly what it takes to progress through United's academy system and establish yourself in the first team, having gone through that exact journey himself many years ago. This kind of mentorship also reflects well on the broader culture being built within the squad this summer. Seeing senior players actively invest time and energy into developing the next generation of talent coming through the ranks is exactly the sort of environment that helps young players thrive and progress more quickly. Building an exciting front three. Perhaps the most exciting detail from a purely footballing perspective involves the relationships Rashford appears to be building with fellow attacking players, Antony and Amad Diallo, during fluid front three rotation drills. Reports suggest Rashford is already demonstrating a strong understanding with both players in these training exercises, hinting at a genuinely dynamic and interchangeable attacking line heading into the upcoming preseason friendlies. Think about what this could mean tactically. A front three capable of rotating positions fluidly during matches becomes considerably harder for opposition defenders to track and mark effectively, creating genuine confusion and uncertainty in how to set up defensively against United's attack. If Rashford, Antony, and Amad can continue building this kind of understanding throughout the remainder of preseason, it could give Carrick a genuinely versatile and unpredictable attacking option heading into the new campaign, one capable of adapting fluidly to different opponents and different match situations throughout a long, demanding season. Missing Rosenborg to focus on conditioning. It is worth noting that Rashford was not involved in United's recent 5-0 win over Rosenborg in Norway, with reports indicating this was a deliberate decision to allow him extra time to finalize his individual conditioning baseline before stepping into full contact training. This kind of careful, staged approach mirrors exactly what we have seen with other players returning from extended breaks or unusual circumstances this summer. Rather than rushing a player straight into competitive match action, the medical and coaching staff prefer to build up fitness levels methodically, reducing the risk of unnecessary injury during these crucial early weeks of preseason. Now that this conditioning baseline has reportedly been established, Rashford is described as fully integrated into contact training, setting the stage for his first appearance of the summer in United's upcoming preseason schedule. The Atletico Madrid test, Rashford's chance to shine. This brings us to the moment every United fan will want to circle on their calendar. Rashford's expected involvement in United's preseason friendly against Atletico Madrid on August 1st in Stockholm. This represents a significant step up in opposition quality compared to the earlier matches against Wrexham and Rosenborg. Atletico Madrid are a genuinely strong, well-organized side, and testing himself against opposition of this caliber will give both Rashford and the watching fans a much clearer picture of exactly where his form and fitness currently stand. Reports suggest he could either lead the line or start on the left wing for this match, giving supporters their first proper look at his revamped approach heading into the new season. Whichever specific role he ends up playing, this match represents a genuinely important early opportunity for Rashford to show the club, the coaching staff, and the watching fan base exactly what he can bring to this Manchester United squad moving forward. Why this story matters so much for the season ahead. Let us think about the bigger picture here, because Rashford's situation carries real significance for how this entire season could unfold. United have already invested heavily in rebuilding their midfield this summer, and continuing to explore reinforcements in attack too. Having a player of Rashford's individual quality and undeniable talent fully committed and fighting for his place adds genuine competition and depth to the forward areas of the squad. Exactly the kind of internal competition that helps push every player to maintain the highest possible standards throughout a long and demanding campaign. If Rashford can rediscover the kind of form and consistency that made him one of the most exciting young forwards in the Premier League earlier in his career, his reintegration could end up being one of the most significant and value-adding stories of United's entire summer, achieved without spending a single additional penny in the transfer market. How should fans approach this developing story? So how should we as supporters feel about everything unfolding with Rashford's return to Carrington? I think there is real reason for cautious optimism here. The early signs, from his physical conditioning numbers, to his defensive work rate, to his leadership on the training pitch, all paint a picture of a player who is taking this opportunity extremely seriously. At the same time, preseason performances and training reports, while genuinely encouraging, are not the same thing as sustained performances in competitive Premier League matches. The smartest approach is to stay genuinely encouraged by everything we are hearing, while reserving final judgment until we actually see him perform consistently in proper competitive fixtures once the new season begins. Matches like the upcoming test against Atletico Madrid will give us all a much clearer indication of exactly where things stand. Final thoughts before we wrap up. So there we have it, Manchester United family, a genuinely exciting update on Marcus Rashford's return to Carrington ahead of the new season. Topping the squad's fitness testing, showing real defensive commitment in pressing drills, staying behind for extra finishing work, and taking on a genuine leadership role in helping integrate both new signings and academy graduates into the squad. All of this points toward a player determined to prove his doubters wrong and re-establish himself as a key figure in Michael Carrick's plans. With his potential involvement against Atletico Madrid on August 1st fast approaching, fans will finally get their first proper look at this revamped version of Rashford in a competitive preseason fixture. This is exactly the kind of comeback story that gets every United fan excited about the season ahead. Let me leave you with one final question before we close out today's video. Do you believe Marcus Rashford can fully rediscover his best form and re-establish himself as a genuine first-team regular this season? Drop your honest thoughts down in the comments below. I read every single one, and I always love hearing the different perspectives from this passionate community. Thank you so much for watching today. If this breakdown helped you feel more informed and excited about Rashford's preseason return, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and share this video with a fellow United fan who has been wondering exactly what is happening with our returning forward. This channel only continues to grow because of supporters exactly like you. And every single one of you watching is part of what makes Carrick United Analysis a trusted home for honest, reliable Manchester United coverage. Until the next video, stay hopeful, stay patient, and keep believing in this rebuild. Come on, United.